Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex. In today's video we have another Brooks preview with Tim. We're on a track in Amsterdam and it may look awkward with a trail shoe that Tim has in his hands, yet it's almost trail season and this shoe will make sense in a few weeks when we're back in the Alps. Tim, what's the newness on the Caldera 8?
Yeah, for sure. So thank you again. So Caldera 7, which was the predecessor, was received very well for us. The changes we made to the midsole and the lug design of that shoe really got us some very positive feedbacks from not only our athletes but also everyone who runs on trails with our shoes. So we really wanted to stay away of touching the midsole too much, so we went with just an upper update because we thought there was still some room for improvement on the upper. So midsole and the outsole are going to be exactly the same, so we will still have the DNA Loft V3, which is our nitrogen-infused supercritical foam. We will have our Trail Tech green outsole, which has 4mm lugs on them as well. And in the upper is really where the big update happens. So we really wanted to make the shoe a bit more structured, a bit more of a lockdown to the platform, because it's a pretty big platform to begin with, and also to make it a lot more breathable than the predecessors were in the past. And then one of the details we really wanted to work on is to make it a bit more water repellent, to keep the shoe as lightweight as possible if you have to run through wet trails or rain or whatever. So we updated the upper in the midfoot cage, which you can see on the inside of the shoe as well, where we have some 3D construction here. And then we reinforced the upper with TPEE material to make it water repellent as well. And we really worked on the mesh to make it a bit more open, but not as open that all the sand and dirt can come into the shoe. So it's a fine mix between breathability and protection of the foot.
And I think interestingly enough, when I remember our tester, trail tester Theo, who is almost an elite athlete, reviewed this shoe on the channel, and his comments were mostly about the upper. He said a lot of good things about the midsole and the outsole. He had a few comments about the upper, so I think it's very good news, and not just for him but for runners in general, to have this upper addressed and updated. Yeah. Tim, can you explain maybe you said it's the same midsole, but we may not have the numbers in mind. What's the stack height and what's the drop on this shoe?
All right, so yeah, when we look at the midsole tooling, we are looking at a 38mm in the heel and a 32mm in the forefoot for a 6mm drop in the shoe. We were looking at a weight of just below 300 grams with the shoe as well. The price point also will stay the same at 150 euros, and the launch date we are looking at is January of 2025.
Lug depth 4mm, if I remember well.
Yes.
And maybe one last question: the Trail Tech compound that you have, the rubber compound that you have on the outsole, I know it's fairly high in terms of percentage when it comes to recycled materials used for that compound. Can you maybe explain again that technology and give us the number for that recycled amount going into the compound?
Yeah, of course. So for all of our shoes, we always try to use as many recycled materials as we can. So it's the same story in the upper, basically, where we really try to focus on using recycled materials first. So in the upper, I would say in general, it's 30% of recycled materials. And in the outsole, we try to do the same. So the exact percentage of this specific shoe, honestly, I don't have it right now. But we also try to put as much recycled material in the outsole as possible. So we always focus on at least 10% of the outsole being from recycled materials. But we don't want to compromise, of course, the grip and durability of the outsole. So it's always really a fine mix of recycled materials and keeping the grip and the durability of the outsole.
That makes sense. Tim, thank you so much. If you want to check the review of the Caldera 7, it's an interesting one. We'll put it right here, upper left-hand corner. Thanks, Tim, for your time, and see you soon here in Amsterdam for another Brooks preview.
Thank you so much.